Today, I want to share my intermittent fasting journey with you as the active woman in midlife. Hi, I am Heike Yates. I'm the creator of Pursue Your Spark, the 4-week lean out program, and host of the Pursue Your Spark podcast, where I help active women in midlife lead a healthy and fit lifestyle by designing balanced and simple fitness, nutrition, and mindset programs. So, why did I get into intermittent fasting? Well, after 30 years in the fitness industry, I have learned many things in many ways to help myself stay healthier and fit, and also my clients. But when midlife, specifically menopause, hit, it was almost a standstill. My metabolism did not want to do anything, it seemed, and I felt stuck. And rather than getting leaner with all my efforts being a triathlete, I stayed the same and I felt I was getting less lean despite all my hard exercises and my meticulous eating plan. Nothing changed. So I started doing research. And in my research, I came across intermittent fasting. And I'm always a very big skeptic when it comes to new things, or at least when they're new to me. And I did a lot of research, and I also went over to my friends at the Precision Nutrition team, which I'm certified with as a nutrition coach, and they had done some research as well. And so I applied their knowledge and what I have come across with a sensible mindset, and I said, all right, I'm going to give this intermittent fasting thing a try. So I set myself a goal for 60 days I would fast. Now the problem was that what type of fasting should I choose? There's many ways of fasting. And when I came across the all-day water fast where you don't eat all day, I tell you guys, this reminded me just totally of getting a colonoscopy, and I was not ready for this. I was like, no, we got to do this different. Because at this point, I was eating 6 times a day, I had 3 meals, and I had 2 snacks to sustain my intensity in training and my fitness training. So I was thinking, no, whole day, this is not a good idea. Let's start a little bit easier. Let's start by designing my own way of eating. So what did I do? I started out with just taking the snacks away. So I had breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and I took the snacks away. And I wanted to see how I felt, how this would work with my workout schedule. And during this time, I exercised a little bit less, so I was not preparing for a competition. I was just in training mode to stay in shape. So nothing super high intensity. So then I decided, all right, after the first couple of weeks, this was going okay. I decided that, all right, now I'm going to take a deep dive in. I'm going to eliminate breakfast, and I'm going for a 14 or 15-hour fast. That meant that my last meal was at 7 p.m., which is usually where we have dinner. So that's what my last meal was. And then I wouldn't eat until the next day around 1 or 2. So I had to test this out because this was totally new to me. And yes, I was hungry. Was I starving? Not really. It was just really new to feel that hunger. And you say, well, normally I felt I needed to eat. That was my signal. I'm hungry. I need to eat. But guys, trust me, you will not starve. You will be hungry, but also you will feel differently when you eat. But I'll get to that. So as I started fasting for 14 to 15 hours, my strategy was very clear. Drink lots of water, a little bit of decaf. I don't drink coffee anymore, with nothing in it, or some herbal teas. I've become a huge fan of fennel tea, as everybody can contest to, not only for my fasting, but other health issues that help me deal with my gut. And the gut is where we're going, guys. with intermittent fasting, because your gut feels so happy when it's not constantly bombarded with food and constantly has to work. So I ended up having 2 meals instead of 6 meals. Now, that doesn't mean that I packed a lot of calories and a lot of food into those 2 windows that I was eating. No, I ate what I normally eat. And I tend to think that I'm eating pretty healthy. So, what is my lunch looks most of the time like this. I have a yogurt or kombucha or a piece of fruit, depending on the day, and I have a whole grain sandwich with avocado, healthy fats, and on top of that, usually lean turkey. And I take 2 slices of this, and this is my lunch. Why do I eat like this? You say, oh, well, whole grains. Shouldn't we stay away from grains? And I'm like, no, it's easy for me, it's doable, and it fits into my lifestyle. Now, when it comes to dinners, I would usually end up with some grilled chicken or seafood and steamed or roasted vegetables. And you can go back into my blogs and my YouTube postings and find out how I make different things. And so this was my meal. So there were no starchy carbs. There was no potato, there was no pasta, there was no rice at dinner time. So this is what I ate pretty much for the most part the whole 60 days, with some variation here and there. And I stuck with those 2 meals for these 60 days. Drank lots of water and tea and stayed away from the kitchen. Got myself busy during the fasting times, because when you work like I do oftentimes from here, my office, the fridge is right over there and I am ready to go, let's see, what else can I eat, even though I may not be hungry. But I decided to log everything. But before I go into my details, I also exercised during this time. But I exercised in a fasted state. That means I don't eat before, but I eat after I exercise. And that was a little interesting at first, because I thought, whoa, if I don't eat based on my experience, I will not be able to exercise. I will have no energy, and God, I can't do the 4-mile run that I'm planning on doing. But guess what? The opposite was the case. I had tons of energy. And I did my runs, I did my strength training workouts, and I felt really good and energized, which I was really surprised about. But I came home and then I would eat whatever the meal of the day was. And it worked really well with the exercise. What I didn't do is high intensity exercises, because at first, when you reduce calories, which basically what we're doing, is you will feel tired. You may feel constipated at first. You also may feel that you get slight headaches, because the body is not constantly bombarded with food and carbohydrates and sugars. So your body is slowly starting to realize that it can get its energy from the fat that you have stored. And that is the secret of intermittent fasting, that your body uses fat instead of sugar to function and to exercise. And if you don't consistently load up your system, your body has nothing else to do but go for the fat storage. And that is the lean out process. So it's awesome. So how did the things work out for me? Well, after 60 days, I had lost 9 pounds. I did not measure in many of the other fat calibers. It's a little hard to measure when you're on your own. So I decided to measure it on a pair of jeans. Super simple, or a skirt that you have if you want to join me in intermittent fasting. But so I used my pants, and they got looser and looser, not because of not only because of the the diet change, but also the metabolism change. It was awesome. I logged what I ate. I logged my macronutrients, my fats, my proteins, and my carbs, because I eat vegetables, which are carbs. And so all of this combined, I charted all of this. So I had a basis of what happened in those 60 days in my body. But how did I feel? I felt great. The first 2 weeks were the toughest one, where I was relying on my food and I was hoping that, okay, maybe I will pop out and it will be awesome. But it took some time for my system to get used to this. So the first 2 weeks are tough, but I sucked it up. I'm like, I'm going to give this intermittent fasting a try. And after 2 weeks, it was a breeze. And it's also super easy to do. I mean, you may skip dinner. I don't know what your lifestyle is, but intermittent fasting fits perfect in my lifestyle. I wake up, I drink my fennel tea, I either go work out or I do my work here. I do podcasts or I train clients and do all like work, right? And then I have lunch at around 1 usually works well for me. And then I have dinner at 7. And that's the end of the story. And I loved it. And if you like this video, please like it and comment on this video, because I want to know what your take is on what I shared with you today. But one of the other things that I learned about intermittent fasting is that it reduces what you know maybe under decision fatigue. That means I didn't have to worry where all my 6 meals came from. I just chose the meals that I'm going to have. So I did some meal prep, and you can learn about all of this in the 4-week lean out program over at heikeyates.com. But it was simple. 2 meals, done. Carbs, proteins, healthy fats, done. And it was a game changer and a time saver. Really awesome. I felt, the second part was I felt energized. I felt really good. I felt lean. I had plenty of energy to do all my exercises and do life. And that's what mostly in menopause or midlife we struggle with, is energy. And you know what? I leaned out and I was like, yep, my waist got tighter, my muscles got tighter. I felt fantastic. So I am a huge fan of intermittent fasting. And if you're interested, you go on over to heikeyates.com and sign up for the 4-week lean out program and see if it's for you, and join our group. And please make sure you give the video some love and subscribe and give it the thumbs up and comment below the video. And I thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.